Hello everybody and welcome to this Awesomenauts Replaycast video with yours truly, SlowWolf. Today we're going to be taking a look at Michael's replay. This is a match on Serona. It's 34 minutes long and it promises to be a pretty close game. We're going to go ahead and introduce people inside the actual match because it seems like on here there are a couple of bots. However, I'm excited to see how this turns out, and we should have a good time. I'll see you guys in the game. And here we are on Serona. Everybody's landing down. No issues, no problems. On the left side, we're going to have our items spotted. On the right side, we're going to have kills, current solar, and DPS. I'm going to explain why those items in a little bit. But first, let's introduce our characters here today. The Catman going to play your Froggy G. Chaos Goat going to play your Lone Star. And Bus Kaminas playing your Foxy. On the blue team, we got MC Bitmap playing your Leon. Beatlemania playing your Ksenia. And full stop. Just not doing anything here on the Voltar. Nice, easy stuff. Alright, as things start off, Catman gonna go ahead and for a dash. MC Bitmap maybe in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Catman gonna try to chase him underneath the worm. It's gonna turn out to be a bad idea as Chaos Goat picks up a double kill with the worm. One on his own team, one on the enemy team. So the blue team is already off to a bad start. Largely because they're down a player. The Voltar just isn't even moving, which kind of sucks, to be honest with you. That never works out super well. For the team that they're on. I find that kind of a deplorable practice, if you ask my personal opinion. Actually, I think it's kind of shitty. Let's just leave it at that. It's just shitty. You don't just jump into a game and then leave it. That's dumb. It's mean-spirited. I think that it's plain rude, you know, impolite. And that's important to note here. Catman managing to do a good job, I think, of denying the creeps underneath the worm and picking up the money for it. Still getting some experience for it. Trying to go in for a dash, pick up a couple of ticks on the NATO, and that'll be that. So Catman's doing his due diligence, which is totally fine. As far as items go, Catman's picked up Piggy Bank into boots, which makes him very, very, very mobile. Capable of doing stuff. Bus Kaminas is going to be able to pick up a good pounce into pulse kill there. And picking it up with the claw at the very end. The Ksenia a little bit laggy, going to end up costing her life. That's unfortunate, but you know, lag, it kind of cuts both ways. It's important to keep that in mind. Now the Voltar is disconnected. They have a bot Swiggins. Hopefully it lands soon and does a better job than a non-existent Voltar. Now as far as items picked up, Turbo Tape being picked up by Catman. Obviously he felt that his NATO needed a little bit more speed, and Cookie Monster Badge on the Penny. More left click damage means that she can push a little bit harder, which is exactly what's happening down here, actually. Looking at this, it's almost 100 damage to smack, which is actually fairly reasonable at this stage of the game. Beatlemania going to take a lot of left-click damage. It's going to be it needs to be careful, and is going to get out of there just fine. The Penny unable to do enough damage to get the kill. One combo point on the pounce is not going to be enough to kill anything, let alone Ksenia with at least a small amount of HP. Out comes the grapple, it's going to miss. The anchor also going to miss. And bot Swiggins not doing the best right now. It's at least providing another body, but it's not going to do much. Seems like Beatlemania is taking some damage up there. We'll see if anything happens out of that. And it looks like it might. Chaos Goat gonna just drop on down. Never mind. He's gonna just pick up some droid kills there. Catman gonna go ahead and push out this lane here. A bot clone coming out of MC Bitmap gonna end up. Oh, hold on. I might have to wait for a second. The bot Swiggins running away for its life. Bus Catman is gonna find the kill. Gonna land it with a pounce. Nicely done. And just in time as it gets replaced by Source, a brand new Swiggins, played by an actual human being. We'll see if it turns out to be better than the bot. Currently 3-1 in favor of the red team. Things are looking pretty good. DPS, the award currently going to the Penny Fox. Bus Kaminas is doing a fantastic job as far as the damage is concerned. Oh, wow! And due to some very well placed knives and some daggers, Beatlemania going to pick up a kill there. Lag or no lag, that's now 1 kill in favor and 1 kill against her because of lag. So I'll take it. Besides, her DPS isn't super high. One way you can, see that you are having an impact on the game is taking a look at that DPS, which is something that Leon is actually managing to rack up very quickly, catching up very fast, now sitting at almost 80 DPS, which is nice. Again, as I mentioned before, DPS is one of those stats that some people look at and go, oh, that's not that important. Well, it's sort of important because it tracks how much you're doing against droids and players. So the more DPS you have, the more that you're actually doing for your team. Out comes the pounce. It's going to do some damage to Beatlemania. Beatlemania going to bounce away and then just be fine. Mantis Toboggan looking for maybe something to do here. Out comes a pounce. A couple of bullet shots. Mantis Toboggan taking quite a lot of left-click damage out of Bus Kaminas. And out comes the dynamite. It's going to miss. There's no way that the pulse is going to do anything. Out comes a pounce. Instead, it's going to hit Beatlemania, and that's going to be the end of that. MC Bitmap going to take a scratch or two out of the Penny Fox, but that's about it. Now, as far as interesting item builds go, Fox is going for damage and left-click attack speed. So, like, very much a left-click heavy build for Fox early, which is good for split pushing, but is not something you normally see every day. Ksenia is going straight into pills, which, again, is one of those pickups you do early, only if you're having a very difficult time staying alive. Catman going for Hydro Smash, meaning that his dashes, no matter how they land, are going to end up doing a little bit more damage, which is totally fine. And Leon going straight into Clone Army. He went for basic AI chip, means that the replicas actually move. And he piggy banked into that at the start of the game, and he's got lifespan and health on the guys as well. So Chaos Goat taking a little bit of damage. Needs to be careful of Beetlemania, but we'll be fine as he drops down through the red trap door. NATO going to come out and help push out this middle lane here. And red team looking to maybe put out some serious damage. Again, looking at the DPS that we mentioned before, the trend with Leon doing a lot of the damage and doing a decent amount of push is continuing. He's sitting at 92 DPS, which is higher than the Penny Fox, who was by and far in the lead before him. Despite this, however, the red team is definitely ahead in terms of how much damage they're doing and how much presence they have on the field. You can see that because their overall damage per second is quite a bit higher. The Swiggins is sitting at 15, which isn't a lot, and the Ksenia is still only at 25. Beetlemania might have gotten a kill, but is not sitting super high on the damage meter still, just because of that. Out comes the anchor drop. It's going to do some damage. Catman's just going to NATO it away, though, and that'll be that. Mantis Toboggan and MC Bitmap need to be careful here as Chaos Goat tosses out the dynamite and does some decent damage. It's down to 2 bars on the top turret for blue. On the bottom side, Beetlemania is doing some damage and is trying to split push. Out comes a dash. Beetlemania will take it and will just simply bounce away and take the creeps on the left side. He'll be totally fine. One thing that I would like to point out here is that Beetlemania has picked up Steel Mohawk. Cut and trim against any Awesomenauts has increased by 14% for one stage. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest with you. It's not exactly an upgrade I'd be picking up right now if I were him. 2 more upgrades picked up. Pounce being built into now by the Penny. Deciding to go for increasing the damage on Pounce by a certain amount per charge, which is a really good upgrade. I think that's a solid way to go. You don't necessarily need to build into Pulse. You can build into Pounce instead, and it'll do a reasonable amount of damage very reliably. Plus, it'll help you initiate a little bit better depending on what other upgrades you get. So, out comes the grapple and the drop. Best Kamina is taking a lot of damage. Is going to end up going down to the Teaspoon upgrade, the pneumatic spoon upgrade on the anchor. That'll pick up the final hit. Mantis Toboggan, gonna miss the grapple and the drop. Beetlemania looking for a kill from behind, maybe. Out comes a few daggers. A good chunk are gonna miss. Beetlemania taking a lot of damage. Needs to be careful. Catman tried to go off for the bounce or just to jump for jump's sake, and nothing's gonna happen out of that. Lone Star going upstairs, cleaning up the droid, like the creeps, to make sure that the Ksenia doesn't get them. And yeah, Beetlemania needs to be careful. And instead does the exact opposite. Chaos Goat manages to pick up an easy kill, landing a triple dynamite to the Ksenia's face when she was a very low HP. Chaos Goat now very obviously typing. Probably in shock. Something along the lines of, Ksenia, what were you thinking? I would be too, to be perfectly honest with you. That was a very silly move out of Beetlemania. But, you know, you live, you learn, and you sometimes get killed. I'm looking again at the DPS meters, and yes, the red team has more damage done, but holy cow, that Leon's really picking it up. He's got 104 DPS. He's definitely pushing. He's all over the map. He's doing his best to just keep his team forward and all that kind of stuff. Now, downsides, it's not necessarily working. His team's on its back foot. They've lost 2 turrets. And to couple that with the complete lack of tongue means he really can't help his team at all. He's playing for himself. Speaking of playing for himself, the Mantis Toboggan going in for a solo kill onto Chaos Goat. The Chaos Goat is defeated. No one need fear the Chaos Goat anymore. Out comes a dash. It's going to hit Beetlemania. Beetlemania is just going to get away. Now, one thing that's interesting to note here is that Catman's picked up Ice Cubes. Ice Cubes, a fairly reasonably done upgrade. It's not bad by any stretch. But combined with Turbo Tape, it feels like it's a bit redundant. So I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it. Bus Camina is going to pick up a kill into Mantis Toboggan. Just a couple of left clicks will be enough to pick up that kill. No problem, thanks to the 2 upgrades that she's managed to buy. They are fairly expensive upgrades, I might add. 275 solar for one and another bunch for the other. Another dynamite toss is going to kill Beetlemania. So Chaos Goat picking up his 2nd kill onto the same character. And he's looking pretty good. He's at 53 DPS, which is more than 2 of the other people on the other team, which is okay. But it's not a lot for a Lone Star, all things considered. Lone Star can do a lot of damage to turrets, to droids, to people. I'm surprised that there isn't more. Granted, he does not have explosive bullets, which would amount to a great chunk of that, and down he goes. MC Bitmap going to pick up that kill with his clone as it walks up and stabs the very low HP Lone Star in the face. Has a lot to do with Mantis Toboggan, and landing that grapple drop combo with the pneumatic spoon upgrades that he has going on, as well as the magnetic anchor. So there's a decent amount of DPS now coming out for this grapple drop combo. It's kind of nice. I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be perfectly honest with you. It seems a little early to be tossing those upgrades down. I would probably go for the purple cross, but no dice. And that's not what's happening here today, obviously. Mantis Toboggan feeling otherwise. Out comes a lot of damage. Catman taking a whole ton of it. He needs to be careful against this Leon and everything else. Oh, and Bus Catman is going in, trying to find a good pulse. Is going to find a pounce instead, and MC Bitmap will go down to it. The Fox managing to catch its prey. Nicely done. Beetlemania going to do the majority of the damage there. Mantis Toboggan going to pick up the kill with the grapple. Nicely done. Beetlemania now running for her life. She's just barely going to jump out of there and eat a pounce. Just enough HP to survive there. So well played, I guess, by Beetlemania not dying. It probably helped a lot, though, that the Swiggins came in and stopped the Penny from coming in. So there is that going down as well. At the 11-minute mark, it is currently 7-6 in favor of the red team. Beetlemania is in the area. Chaos Gat knows it. Chaos Goat knows that, so he needs to be a little bit careful. But he's still going in. He's doing the Lone Star thing, tossing in the Bull. The Bull doesn't do any damage to turrets right now, however. He still has no explosive Bull, which is probably one of the better multi-purpose upgrades on that ability. So a little surprised by that. MC Bitmap putting out, again, more damage, managing to stay at a consistent above 100 DPS, which is, again, very, very good for early on at this stage of the game. Like, it's impressive. Chaos Goat going to take a little bit of damage. He's almost, yeah, he is going to die. Beetlemania managing to toss out a really good knife, but he gets picked up by a Catman and a well-placed dash. So that's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. That's totally fine, actually. Killing the Lone Star is a lot of the pressure off as far as the blue team is concerned, but not all of it. Because Foxy does have the ability to push with that left click of hers. It's very strong right now. It hurts a lot. MC Bitmap taking a ton of damage. Gonna survive with some well-placed jukes coming out with the invis. If you know how to use the invis, chances are you don't die very often at all against some knots. Some other knots, they don't really care whether or not you went to invis. Nah, for instance, has way too much invis. Out comes the NATO, the dash. The anchor drop is going to be enough to, just keep Catman in place and call that a day. Out comes the button push, and Beetlemania is looking to maybe find something to do here. She's going to just barely freaking survive by this, like, the seat of her pants. Very lucky to be alive. I'm surprised that she didn't go down. That was super close. Just barely manages to vanish roll out of the way of the worm as it goes up to try to nom her in the face, but no dice. Mantis Toboggan going to miss both of his abilities. Oh no, manages to land the anchor. Mantis Toboggan now going to go down to Catman and his NATO. Well played. The majority of the damage, I think, coming out from the Penny. Now this middle turret is taking some damage. The clones are helping to do, whoa, a ton. The explode upgrade on the clones, managing to net enough damage on the Lone Star, who was not careful and managed to get himself killed. Now Beetlemania picking up a kill onto the bottom turret. It's one turret for the two so far, so it's getting a little bit more even. As far as levels are concerned, that seems to still continue to be the case. They're only about, I'd say, about a quarter. Oh, I was going to say a quarter, but now it's more like 3/4 of a level in terms of difference, or sorry, half a level of difference between the two teams. And that's a surmountable difference. It's not like it's huge. They're both the same level, so that's fine. The Leon clones are doing a lot of work, by the way, continuing to put out that 100 plus DPS, which Bus Cameras is just barely managing to scratch with her Penny Fox. She's doing a good job, but it's not the same level of damage. Lone Star still surprised it's quite a bit low. Lower than it probably should be. Now let's see. Ninetales badged me. Oh, they're going to have to wait for a minute. Chaos Goat taking a lot of damage from this Leon. The Anchor going to do a lot as well. He's almost going to die. He's just barely going to survive. MC Bitmap went in a little too deep. He's super low. Might he survive? He's not going to get hit there. And the Penny Fox went the wrong way. Invis Bitmap just barely going to manage to make it out alive. And he'll continue to push his lane as a result. No problem. So, that's pretty cool. Mantis Toboggan taking a dash to the face. And he'll end up surviving. The Penny Fox teleports back home, and that's totally fine. She's got a reasonable amount of solar to spend anyway, and she was sitting at 300 and something. She's got another 200. What is she going to spend it on is a good question, I wonder. What has she picked up? Energy Pulse. Did she not have an Energy Pulse this whole time? No, she definitely had an Energy Pulse. I swear she did. If she didn't, I'm impressed. how silly that move might have been. But let's see. Big Bang Horn coming out for the pounce, so that's a little bit of extra damage. MC Bitmap taking a little bit. Now Chaos Goat on the backside, going to get picked off by Mantis Toboggan. Well played by the grapple drop. He'll continue to push out that bottom lane and maybe do some damage there. Beatlemania taking a dash to the face and looking for maybe a kill, and in return, will take a lot of NATO damage to the face. Now we've got two squishies coming in from behind. The Catman's dash just going to miss, but it's not going to matter. Buscaman is coming in with that pulse to get the kill there. So well played out of Buscaman. Nicely done. Ksenia's picked up now some knife damage, and the Leon now has tongue. I fully expect that that's going to be a pain in the butt for the red team to deal with. The red team needs to be careful. They're losing a lot of momentum, even though it doesn't seem like they are, to this Leon like clone army push and everything coming out of Beatlemania. Beatlemania going to take a lot of damage there. Catman now at half HP, thanks to that HP pack, is going to try to come back in here and see if he can't find any opportunities to use his slow dash. But no dice yet, so he's going to have to continue to wait. Chaos Goat sitting at 2 and 5. He's not doing super hot. He's going to take a lot of damage. Or no, not a lot of damage. Catman will take that damage instead. A lot of daggers coming out and eating it in the... Like, he's going to have to eat it to the face. He'll go down. MC Bitmap now taking the brunt of the anger out of the red team. Chaos Goat now taking a lot of damage thanks to the anchor. I'll come a few daggers. They're going to miss. Beatlemania just barely going to survive with his life, as he manages to survive a little bit of turret damage. Out comes a couple of left clicks, and it's not going to be enough. Buscaman was so close, but Mantis Toboggan just that much closer, managing to pick up the kill with the grapple. It was a little close there. If there had been a pounce or a pulse, that would have been the end of him, but I have a feeling that they were still on cooldown, and so that's going to be a kill for the blue team. They're now sitting ahead at 11, level 11. Not by much, though. It's only like a quarter of a level. It's not a lot at all. But it's still ahead in terms of experience. For the next couple seconds, they got a slight damage and HP advantage. On top of that, they've managed to tie up the board in terms of kills. Their DPS isn't stellar, but it is okay because the Leon is at 117, which is definitely the top in the game. He's doing a ton of extra work, and now that he's got regen on his regen just in general, he's going to be all over the map all the time. He's just going to be as annoying as possible. MC Toboggan going to put out a lot of damage. Buscaman and the Frog are probably going to have to teleport home and take it easy for a little bit after a couple of clone explosions to the face. That's a fair amount of damage. Each one of those clones now dealing approximately 400 damage. So imagine being too close to two of those. That's 860. That's 800 damage. It's like half of anybody's HP at this stage in the game. Buscaman is taking a lot. Going to have to back out. The grapple drop proving to be once again a very powerful, easy and strong combo for a lot of different reasons. Out comes the drop. Sorry, it's going to do a lot of damage to Chaos Goat, but it's not going to really matter. Chaos Goat taking his time, taking it easy, not panicking, and just going to land that triple dynamite, no problem. Now Buscaman is looking for a kill onto Bitmap. Probably won't find it there, and he'll likely get away. Buscaman is taking a lot of damage from Beatlemania. Beatlemania is looking for the kill. Is he going to find it? Is he going to find it? Doesn't seem like it. Is going to maybe sneak in from behind down here. Not going to find the kill here either. Now Chaos Goat's looking for maybe some hurt. Not going to land the dynamite, unfortunately. Out comes the dash from Catman, and that'll hit the Ksenia, but Ksenia will get away. Now Buscaman is coming with a pounce. Going to do a lot of damage to the Leon. Not going to find a kill or anything. We'll go straight to pushing instead. Drop, gonna miss. MC Bitmap looking for another kill, and we're going to pause for just a second here as I deal with some bodily functions here. And we're back. Sorry about that. Buscaman is now going in for some more left-click damage to Beatlemania. Beatlemania is invisible, so the Catman is going to assume that he's not there when he has been there the whole time. What a sneaky move. MC Bitmap going to start putting out some more left-click. Out come the clones. It's becoming a complete annoyance with these guys. 519 damage whenever those things land. It's quite a painful experience right now, being caught on the wrong side of those explosions. Like, that upgrade's turning out to be a very strong one for this Leon play. 124 DPS is nothing to be sneezed at, especially at this stage in the game. Every one of those clones is just doing a dumb amount of pushing, and it's very powerful. It's not, and it takes a lot of passive play. And against the team that they're going up against, it's working just fine. A lot of time whenever Clone Army comes out, it's easily countered through very active, very aggressive play. And it seems like the red team just hasn't had the time to really do that. They're playing much softer, much less aggressive. In comes the NATO, though, and the Tweeter is going to be enough to pick up the kill onto Beatlemania. Beatlemania goes down one more time, and the third kill coming out for Catman X. Now Catman X going in with the dash. No NATO to really back it up right there, though, so that's not going to be a kill on anyone. Out comes the grappler, the anchor drop, and Mantis Toboggan going to pick up another kill. Catman going in with another NATO, though. Out come the tweeters. It's almost enough to get a kill. It is enough to get a kill. A good fish gun shot or two is going to be enough to net and secure that particular pickoff. Now Catman's looking for another kill. Out comes the dash, and that will probably be the end of that as MC Bitmap just walks away. He's going to go ahead and push these droids off of his base very easily thanks to the help of his clones and to the Clover of Honor upgrade that he has. Catman taking a ton of damage. That could have been very bad had he been picked off there by the rocket droid, but not the case. He will get away just fine. Beetlemania going for, went for some lifesteal on the left click earlier, which allows her to really, clear a wave very quickly, recover very quickly from a fight. It's not a bad upgrade at all, I don't think, but I'm a little interested to see, if she'll do anything else with her daggers right now. She's got a maximum number of scissors that she can carry, increased by 1, and she's got all the damage she can possibly get, but that's it. Bus Cameron is going to pick up a kill onto Mantis Toboggan. A well-placed pulse going to be able to secure the last hit there. And that seems to be about it. MC Bitmap, again, just kind of the king of DPS at the moment. Pounce going to come out. Beetlemania now running for her life. She will probably get out of there just fine. The dash not aimed low enough to be able to pick up a kill. So Catman going to have to just be content with the fact that they sent the Ksenia home. Beetlemania is not going to... Oh, wait, is he? Is he? Out comes the dash. And Beetlemania will probably... Yeah, Beetlemania just walks away. So camera didn't think that was important enough to see because there wasn't going to be a kill there. And I agree with the camera. Out comes the grapple on the drop. Plus Cameron is taking the brunt of the damage. Now down to half. Mantis Toboggan taking a lot of damage on the flip side. Out comes the tweeters. Catman X landing another really good kill. Now up to 5 and 3. MC Bitmap might be 1 and 2, but he's got a ton of kills, man. At least as far as droids are concerned, he's done a lot of push. He's doing a lot of damage to these people as well. 159 whenever he lands normal attacks onto people. Coupled to that attack speed, he actually has a significant amount of DPS against anyone that's standing still for too long. Now, that's not going to be the case. His team does not have any real snares or stuns or any real slows either. So they're just kind of relying on MC Bitmap to do just damage in general, rather than have him synergize his backstab with anything else. Beetlemania going to toss out 2 daggers, 4 daggers, nice and easy. Chaos Scope very low. It needs to be careful. If there's a very well played Leon or Ksenia in the future, that could be a problem. Now MC Bitmap's down here, clearing out these droid waves as quickly as he can. It's not like he has lifesteal though, so he needs to be a little bit more careful than he should be. Out comes the grapple, out comes the drop. Chaos Code taking a lot of damage, and Chaos Code might die. He's so close to dying. All it needs is Beetlemania to come in with a good dagger, and that's it. The life HP pack pickup though is going to be enough to save it. Beetlemania taking some damage off of that dynamite, but not going to end up dying quite yet. And we'll probably get out of there just fine. He goes invisible again and will just bounce up to the upper left jungle where there's no one on the red team. Now Beetlemania is looking for maybe some damage on this Penny Fox. I don't know. Never mind. MC Bitmap taking a lot of damage. The Catman's not going to get grappled. MC Bitmap's trying to run away. Catman silenced because of the dagger out of Ksenia. Will have to probably run away as he gets, as he gets low on HP, and he doesn't want to get picked off anytime soon. It'd be a bad idea to die at this point. Beetlemania is 3 and 6, but despite that, puts out a reasonable amount of damage, to say the least, and has now managed to pick up the range on Scissor Throw upgrade. So, going for just a kind of one-shot burst kind of composition rather than a go in and out, stab them in the face kind of build, which is the kind of build I'm used to playing as Ksenia, but hey, shit happens. Catman going in for the dash. Beetlemania is slowed. Oh, Bus Cameron is trying to run away. Gets stuck typing, it seems like, instead, and MC Bitmap going to pick up an easy kill. That was like a target dummy, really, so that's the end of that. That's always unfortunate when that happens. That was an unfortunate death, but, shit happens. Chaos Go taking a lot of damage after a grapple, a drop, and some other stuff. Now, Catman needs to be a little careful. If he's stuck out there for too long, Beetlemania will be able to put out enough damage that MC Bitmap or whoever else is left will be able to pick up a cleanup kill easily enough. MC Bitmap putting out a clone. It's going to die right next to the tower. Now, Catman almost enough to tweet away the Swiggins, but not going to be quite enough. The dash is going to miss, unfortunately, which would have been great to have there the slow debuff would have revealed the Leon for long enough that they might have been able to get a kill, but no dice. Out comes the Dynamite from Chaos Goat, and he'll continue to clear out these lanes. He might be only 3 and 6, but he's sitting there at 71 DPS. It's mostly droids at this point, so he can't be too upset. As far as other items go, Catman's managed to pick up a couple of things, including some pills, another second rank in ice cubes, which right there was incredibly helpful, as a lot of people took a lot of damage, but it might not be enough. Catman's very low. Out comes a couple daggers, just enough of them miss that he'll survive. Bus Catman is now looking for a little bit left click damage and takes out Beetlemania with a well-placed pulse. MC Bitmap, a little low on HP, is going to get most of it back just by getting some stabby kills. It's not that he's getting the HP back from the kills themselves. I imagine that he picked up a health pack or two, but things are looking pretty good for him and his team. He might be only 2 and 2, but again, he has the highest DPS in this game by a wide margin. 137 of it is nothing to be sneezed at. Both of his teammates are quite low instead. So Catman going to take a lot of damage there. He'll get anchored and grappled right next to the turret. And Chaos Goat not fast enough to escape the Swiggins and the Leon. So that's going to be a double kill pickoff. Well, okay, not a double kill, but that will be a 2-for-0 pickoff for the blue team as they now start to march in on this red team area. Penny Bus Catman is looking for something to kill here. And while we're waiting for that, MC Bitmap going to continue to clear out this bottom lane. This duel continues. Beetlemania looking for a kill. Out comes the grapple, out comes the drop, and Mantis Toboggan going to pick up the kill there with the anchor drop. Pneumatic spoon upgrade, managing to get the last hit. So he is doing pretty well. He's 7 and 7 for himself, considering he late joined. That's pretty sick. He has got the most kills on his team by far, so that's always good. Out comes the grapple, the drop. It's going to do a lot of damage to Catman. He's down to a 3rd HP, which for Frog is very little. Out comes the Dynamite. It's not going to be enough to get the kill onto MC Bitmap, unfortunately. Now Catman going to need to be a little careful as he tried to dash in, but did not get the kill. Out comes the grapple. It's going to miss. The drop also going to miss. Unfortunate for our Mantis Toboggan here, but you know, them's the breaks. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, sometimes you miss some. Bus Catman is looking to get some left-click combo points anywhere, somewhere. Isn't going to find them on anybody that he really wants to, though. Catman going to jump around here instead and start going towards this bottom turret. That'll have to wait for a moment as Chaos Goat takes a lot of damage from the daggers. On the backside, Catman going to pick up the last turret, and he's going to start poking at that back blue turret. Well done. Oh, wow. Chaos Goat, bad, like, wrong place, wrong time. Gets picked off by the daggers on the bus. On the bus side of things, Bus Catman is going to pick up that kill on the back. Onto the Swiggins. So that's a good 1-for-1 trade. Now a 2-for-1 trade as Beetlemania and our Leon managed to pick up another kill onto another red teammate here, specifically Catman. So MC Bitmap now going in onto this bottom turret, going ham. Should be able to take it out nice and quickly. Needs to be careful of these droids, though. They do quite a bit of damage. He'll pick them all off, pick up another 20 solar for it, and then be on his way. He's sitting on 654 solar. I'm a little terrified to see what he picks up here. Out of all the people on his team, he's done the most pushing, for sure. And he's been doing a lot of work on that front, making sure that his lanes were at least forward, that they are constantly threatened, that they have constantly to be dealt with. And if there's one thing that could have really helped with this, I think it would have been to at least have explosive bullets on the Lone Star. Having that left click hit more than one thing at once means that whenever you're able to hit a droid wave, you're hitting 2 things at once. It's effectively a 2 times damage upgrade. It's really good. Definitely worth picking up in situations where you need the extra push. In this case, what he needs, though, is a little bit less death on his team as he gets picked off by Beetlemania. On the flip side, Catman going to pick up a kill onto Mantis Toboggan. And now Beetlemania takes a dash. Out comes a pulse. Beetlemania quite low. He might end up going down, and he will. Bus Catman is going to pick it up with the left click. Now MC Bitmap maybe on the back side here. Bus Catman is almost dead. Needs to be careful. Cannot go in on this. One tongue, and that'll be the end of Bus Catman, as that won't be the case here. As Catman tries to land a tweeters. The tongue misses. Now Leon needs to be a little bit more careful as he has no real means of getting rid of this Penny. Penny will teleport home just in time. And Catman's going in and just making sure that the waves are clear. Out comes the tongue, but it's not going to be enough to net a kill. Out comes a pounce. MC Bitmap taking a little bit of damage, but so does the Penny. Bus Catman is going to have to take it a little bit easy for a moment as he picks up some left-click kills onto those droids and then backs off. Let's go ahead and change up this upper left area here so we can see what else is going on. We don't necessarily need to see the items bought anymore because, let's be honest, the build's kind of not set in stone, but we're getting to a point where they've got anything that they could possibly want. Out comes the anchor drop. It's going to do a little bit of damage, and Frog will take that. He has to. Beetlemania taking a dash, a lot of left-click damage, and is almost dead. Will Beetlemania die? Not today. One of the good things about Ksenia is that she has the ability to jump incredibly high and incredibly far. She can practically fly with her 2 jumps. And so she can get out of those areas in Sirona, where some other Nauts, like say Genji or Voltar, can't really if they're attacking the enemy core. It makes her very, very good at just doing some poke damage and then getting out alive. Mantis Toboggan going to take a lot of damage, and with the pulse, he's going to get killed off. Bus Cannon is going to just teleport on back. They're looking for a kill on this Leon. Out comes the Tweeters, not going to land. MC Bitmap still looking to escape. Out comes the dash, and the well-placed fish gun attack is going to be able to pick up the kill here. Some daggers, some other attacks. Wow! Beetlemania absolutely tears Bus Camina's apart. But at what cost? Dash NATO going to pick up the return kill onto Beetlemania, making that a 2-for-1 exchange. And now the red team, 23 kills to 20 kills at this 30-minute mark in this game. Level 18, looking to put out some more core damage. Catman is trying to shoot it from the top. It's not going to work with this character. It's not doing any damage. Out comes the grapple drop. The anchor doing a reasonable amount of damage. But a well-timed dash is going to end up reducing the damage that he would have normally taken. He is not going to take the pneumatic spoon damage. That's actually a fair amount of damage to just ignore altogether. Now, Catman needs to be safe. One grapple drop and he will very easily die. If he gets hit by an anchor drop, for sure, he is absolutely boned. Beetlemania now on top. He sees the Penny. The Penny is in a very vulnerable spot. In comes Catman. He's now put himself in a vulnerable spot as he's taking a decent amount of damage. Out comes a grapple. The anchor drop not there. The Penny just manages to sneak to the right. Why is this Penny not dead yet? Out comes the anchor drop. Catman gonna, again, dash in such a way that he does not take the pneumatic spoon damage. Bus Camina is trying to back off. Will succeed in doing so. Now the blue team going in. Not gonna matter. Never mind. The clone gonna pick up Bus Camina's as a kill. So that's very unfortunate for Bus Camina's. A well-placed dash gonna come out of Catman X, gonna kill Beetlemania, and it's kills everywhere. 24 to 21. 31 minutes into this game. So this is pretty kill heavy. Bobcat gonna come out for the Ksenia, meaning that she now has double damage daggers after she hits somebody with the 3rd attack on her left click. That's really good. That means that she has a lot of burst now. Out comes the grapple. Where is this drop at? The drop is going to land. Catman is going to take it practically fully. It won't be enough to kill him, but he's now down below half. And Swingin's going in with some left click damage. And then just going to back off. So a little bit more poke damage. Every little bit helps when it comes to a core base race like this. Both bases wide open. And when you've got a Leon on the opposite team, that's an exceptionally rough place to... Oh my gosh! Good pounce, good left click, gonna pick up the kill there for Bus Camina's. That's a fantastic pickoff. They desperately need stuff like this on a more routine basis. Bus Camina's, though, gonna start disconnecting here. And, yeah, he's gonna probably take enough damage to die there, thanks to lag. Unfortunate, but then the breaks, sometimes that happens. The Catman gonna take a lot of damage on the flip side because he just doesn't have, or at least he didn't have the ability to dash at the time. He was silenced. And it doesn't help that if we look at the items bot right now, Leon does have both upgrades of cheese and garlic mints, meaning a fair amount of silence. And on top of that, Deja Vu blocker. Ksenia also sporting quite a lot of silence. Going to help there a little bit as the silence guarantees that Frog cannot dash through and gets picked off instead. Now MC Bitmap putting out those clones. Those clones will go ahead and burst a little bit onto the core. They don't do any damage to the core really. Bus Cannon is going to pick up the kill onto MC Bitmap with a well-placed pounce. But yeah, that Leon dealt a lot of damage and it was very annoying damage. Now Bus Cannon is coming in, trying to find some left click kills onto Mantis Toboggan. Is it going to be enough? It is! The left clicks are just too real. Bus Cannon is doing a lot of damage. I'm very impressed with how much damage that Penny can do with his left click. And all it took was really like 2 items. Cookie Monster Badge and Living Treasure Map means that she can actually brawl quite hard. But the downside is she doesn't have Snack Carrying Badge. So that means she doesn't have the survivability of other Penny builds. And that's potentially very bad. Out comes the left click. Beetlemania obviously able to do a lot more damage than Bus Camina's can. And MC Bitmap gonna pick up that kill there with the tongue. Now Chaos Goat needs to be careful. He does have explosive bullets now, so he can kind of poke from the top of the base for a little bit. But again, needs to be very safe. Against these 2 very high damage knots, he can be picked off very quickly if he's not very careful here. Chaos Goat just gonna bounce upstairs, not do too much. Ksenia looking to maybe come in from the front and start doing some core damage. Out comes a dash from Catman. Out comes the NATO. The very high amount of burst coming out of Beetlemania is a threat to Catman. He needs to be very safe here. Out comes another dash. The daggers all miss, but only just barely. that's unfortunate for the Ksenia, but very fortunate for Catman. And wait, that's it. That's the end of the replay. And I think we know where this is going. If you look at the red core, it is at less than half a bar. If we look at the blue core, we'll see that the Lone Star's there, and it's several bars still in. I don't think this is going to end in favor of the red team, but we'll never truly know. Maybe this NATO is enough to actually kill off MC Bitmap and Beatlemania and have the red team come back in fine style. But we have no real means of knowing that for sure. So left on a cliffhanger there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the total solar. So one thing that we need to keep in mind here is that with the total solar, this is a really good indicator to see whether or not a game was evenly matched. The only reason that these two lines aren't like completely on top of one another the entire game long is because two players joined on the blue team. One was the Swiggins bot, and the other one was the real Swiggins that we have here today. And the game graph does not compensate for the loss of a player. So in this case, instead, we will look at the shape of these two graph lines, and the distance between the two of them remains the same throughout. So I'm going to effectively conclude that this was actually a really close game. Damage done, despite the fact that the Leon was well and ahead of anybody on the red team. The red team managed an overall DPS that was much higher, which meant that the teammates were doing a little bit more all told. But the Leon, like, look how much he was doing compared to the highest on the penny. It's an impressive damage difference, considering. And then compare that with the other two on the blue team, who were just like sluggishly down there the entire time. The Leon definitely did a lot of work. So lots of kudos to MC Bitmap for really having a strong back in this game. Kudos to Bus Caminas for doing a lot in terms of pushing and killing and all that stuff. Catman managing to pull off some pretty neat, some very good dashes and some good predictions as well. And if there's one thing I could say that might have really helped, I think, would have been to pick up the explosive bullets up a little bit earlier, instead of one of these missile upgrades going for a damage on the blaster upgrade, which would have meant a lot more pushing power overall. But hey, you know what? That's just me. What do I know? Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you very much so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy these replay casts. If you'd like to have your replay cast by yours truly, you can go ahead and send me an email at slowwolfgame@gmail.com. slowwolfgame@gmail.com. And I would love to actually take a look at it and maybe cast it. It could be a lot of fun. You get your replay cast, I get some content for my channel, and everybody has a good time watching and having a good laugh at it. So, or, you know, a good hoot at it, or a good shriek at it, or whatever else it is that would be an onomatopoeia for excitement and good time. I think that's a good time for everybody. One more time, thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I know I sure did. And I'll see you guys in the next replay.